Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back, and I just wanted to come and run my mouth and talk about the mess. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and get into it. So, this is according to the Jasmine brand. Oh, girl, here we go. I always have a hard time with this lady's name because I was calling the hell, I was calling the hell for Jeannie Mai Jenkins because remember Jeezy's last name is Jenkins. So I thought the lady's name was Jeannie Mai, but it is Jeannie. No, I was calling her Jeannie. Jeannie Mai. I think I was calling her Jeannie Mai. Yeah, but I think it is Jeannie Mai, right? Accuses Jeezy of harassment after his oppressive subpoena of her bank accounts. Again, this is according to the Jasmine brand, if I didn't state it earlier. The drama between JM and Jeezy is back on. In the latest, Jeannie Mai accused judge to quash Jeezy's secret subpoena of her City National Bank accounts, according to an In Touch Weekly. Specifically, JM said he requested details on her personal and business accounts, as well as a deposit and withdrawal slips before November the 1st. She called the subpoenas oppressive, unreasonable, and not calculated to lead to the discovery of admissible evidence, and are requested for the purposes of annoyance, embarrassment, and oppression. Girl. Hmm. Her lawyer also said, here the subpoena is grossly overboard and oppressive, and it is clear that the subpoena was issued for the sole purpose of embarrassing and harassing Miss Mai as some request information that in no way relates to the subject matter of the current contempt action. Furthermore, Ms. Mai has provided numerous alternative avenues for Jeezy. He didn't actually say Jeezy, to obtain the information that he is now requesting from Ms. Mai's personal and business bank accounts from the time period of June 2024 to October of 2024. Adding, given his propensity for failing to pay his financial obligations, both in his prior unrelated custody case and based on the number of lawsuits that have been filed against him by his former employees and associates regarding non-payment of debts, it is clear that that Jeezy's motive is issuing said subpoena was for no other purpose than to harass and intimidate Miss Mai. Girl. Because they say, girl, Jeezy was having issues with his other baby mama. She said he wasn't paying child support, and then I think in this situation, part of the I guess the divorce settlement, he was supposed to pay her rent for X amount of months, and because we talked about this, and Jeannie had to pay her rent. He was supposed to cover the rent or something like that, and then Jeannie ended up having to pay it, and she want her money back. Although the exes settled the divorce in June, she later accused Jeezy of being in contempt of their agreement in a new filing. Jeezy has denied those claims. Girl, your thoughts? Tell us in the comments. Girl, this is a mess. It's a mess. Girl, it's no shade. Girl, I'm sorry. I know, girl. I'm sorry. I know, Jeannie. I know she. I know she. Has she ever married that man? Can you imagine going through your life saying that you don't want kids, and that's basically part of the reason, or I think it was the main reason. I'm not exactly sure that her first marriage didn't work out. For you to turn around, get married, have a child, girl, and this is what you're going through. Jenny said she liked her dark meat on the side. Somebody said, I bet she wish she would have kept it that now. Girl, always follow your heart. Always follow like Olivia Good. I mean, like Olivia Pope say, girl, my gut. I follow my gut. Girl, when your gut tell you something, girl, follow your gut. Okay. Anyways, child, they both a mess. They'll get it together. All right, y'all, let's move on. All right, so this is according to the neighborhood talk. So, the NBA fines LaMelo Ball 100K for using offensive and derogatory language after saying no homo in a post-game interview. So, neighbor Charlotte Hornets player LaMelo Ball got himself in a little bit of trouble after using offensive and derogatory language in a post-game interview. The NBA fined the basketball star $100,000 for using the term no homo during an interview after following Charlotte's 115 to 114 win to the Bucks. Ball was discussing the latest play of the game when his teammate Grant Williams defended, I can pronounce this person's name, at the top of the key and forced a jumper. We loaded up, no homo, as he lowered his voice. Following his comments, the NBA released a statement claiming Ball made an offensive and derogatory statement in a post-game interview, resulting in him being fined $100,000. Neighbors, did the NBA have a point, or were they doing the most? I'm going to try to play the audio. You can barely hear it, but you can hear it, but just listen.
To the last play when he took the shot, yeah, we loaded up. That's what we wanted. Put the hand up. And then
so when he said no homo, he lowered his voice. Let me just say this, and then I'm gonna be done with it. Was I offended? No. Do I care? No. For some reason, there are people in the comment section acting as if this fine was issued by the LGBTQ community. This man is at work. He has a uniform on representing a multi-billion-dollar brand, girl, a multi-billion-dollar organization. His job is to go down and do an interview after the game. Those interviews don't last. I don't even pay attention to sports like that, but I do know for a fact that when these people do these players do these interviews after the game, girl, those interviews don't last that long. So you're at work representing a company, representing a brand, a multi-billion-dollar brand, a multi-billion-dollar organization, and you can't even do something as simple as get your black ass down to an interview, say what needs to be said, and go on about your business. We didn't issue the fine. His job issued the fine because they felt that what he said was offensive and derogatory. We didn't issue the fine. His employer issued the fine. Okay? And even if we did issue the fine, it would still be stupid for anyone to go down to their job and say something that could be deemed as offensive and derogatory about the people who cut your check or could have the power to fine you, even if that person doesn't necessarily cut your check. You go to your job, stand up, give a speech, a presentation, go to your job, and someone hear you say something like no homo. Unless you just work somewhere that's just ghetto and gutter snipe, it won't fly. Baby, I worked at Nordstrom and we couldn't even curse. If you curse, if HR heard you even say a curse word, you will be terminated. So that's why I get so confused when people are like, it's not that big of a deal. It is a big of a deal to the organization that he works for. Just like it would be a big of a deal if a white person got up and said something offensive and derogatory about knuckles. Y'all would understand it then. I guarantee you people would have a grasp on why the fine was issued. He's at work. He said something that goes against the company policy. He said something that his employer found to be offensive and derogatory. You have your uniform on, sir. You're supposed to be doing an interview. That's only going to last a minute or two. Just get down there, answer the questions, talk about the game. You're not at your home. You're at work. You're at work. You're at work. You don't just represent yourself, you represent the brand. So just because we don't necessarily find something offensive and derogatory doesn't mean that it's not offensive or derogatory. And yes, we do live in a time in 2024 where you cannot just get up and say anything you want to say without some type of. Let me tell you something. I cannot come down to YouTube and just fly off at the lip. You know how many people have gotten strikes? You know how many people have gotten their channels taken away? You just can't come down here and say anything you want to say. You still have to have some type of censorship, okay? You still have to watch your mouth. He's at work. You still need to watch your mouth. And the thing is, what's so crazy to me is that y'all talk about people being, you can't even get down and do an interview without you making something about sexuality. No homo. What that got to do with what you just said? Girl, like, what does that have to do with what she's asking you or he's asking you? And I want to say something to the punks. I want to be very clear. One thing that makes my stomach turn is when I see gay men running to defend straight men. Because the fact of the matter is, they do not defend you. How many times have you went to the comment section and there's a post about Lil Nas X, Saucy Santana, and as a collective, the straight black men are running down to defend Lil Nas X from getting dragged in the comment section because he may have done something that he probably didn't have any business doing. They still don't run to your defense. Girl, you had people out here, girl, still to this day defending Tory Lanez, and he was over there pulling out a pow, shooting at Megan Thee Stallion, and he was convicted. He's in jail. He's in prison for 10 years. And the girls will still defend him, no matter what, girl, till they turn blue in the face. But here y'all go, throwing y'all capes on to protect some straight man, because it will not be reciprocated. If the roles were reversed and you were being dragged, or if you had been fined for saying something you had no business saying, you think they would be running down to the internet to defend you? Do you really think that? I know for a fact they won't. Show me the footage. Show me the post where you see straight black men running in to defend Saucy Santana. Show me the post where they're running in to defend Lil Nas X. Show me. So every time I see y'all punks down to the internet, girl, dick riding your little hole out to defend somebody that will not defend you, girl, I be wanting to slap the shit out of you. Bitch, wake up. You look foolish. You look foolish. You do. And you know what I'm saying is the truth. There will be no reciprocity at all if the roles were reversed. Girl, y'all make me sick sometimes. For real. Anyways, I had to get that off my chest. All right, y'all. That's all I had to say. Girl, like I said, girl, I'm not offended. I don't care about the boy with saying no homo. But at the end of the day, his job said you can't have your uniform on. You can't be at work while you're doing your job and say things that could be deemed offensive and derogatory. Yes, it's just not the LGBTQ that can be sensitive. It's everybody. Because I guarantee you, if somebody got down and said something about black people, black men, black women, Jews, girl, y'all will be hollering and having a fit. It's best to go ahead and nip it in the bud. I'm going to go ahead and say it. It's best to go ahead and nip it in the bud, right? Before we even start getting emails from organizations about what you said. So before they even can get to their computers and send us emails, we already found him. We already checked him. The matter is already resolved. I bet you he'll watch his mouth the next time. I bet you when he does the next interview, he'll go down there, answer the questions, and then get his ass in that locker room and go home. When you go home, you can say whatever you want to say. But while you're at work, you will watch your mouth. It's that simple. It's very, very simple. It's 1 + 1 = 2. All right, y'all, let's move on. This is according to the Jasmine brand. So Stevie J reveals Diddy's reaction to footage of him beating Cassie being released. It crushed him. Stevie J is giving insight into how Diddy reacted to the disturbing video of him. Y'all already know what he did to Cassie being released. The footage, which dates back to 2016, was dropped by CNN in May and showed Diddy kicking, punching, and dragging Cassie inside of a hotel. Stevie J appeared in Tubi's bombshell documentary TMZ Presents The Downfall of Diddy and revealed Diddy's reaction to the video being seen by the masses. He was hurt. That video came out. It crushed him because he was like, yo, my daughters and my mom got to see this. And I'm like, yeah, your friends got to see it too. Stevie J went on to say the footage coming out really hurt Diddy. You're right, because you called. Because you called. When asked if Diddy was more hurt by the video being released than his actions in the footage, Stevie J said, I believe both hurt him. What he did on the video, he couldn't believe that was the darkest point of his life, and he had to relive that and see that again with his ex-girlfriend of 10 years. Who wants to see themselves beating on a girl in a video? I think that would kind of hurt all of us, any man. Who wants to be getting beat on? He disagreed with the notion that Diddy was more hurt by the video coming out than what he did. Stevie J added that he himself was shocked by the footage and said he let Diddy know he was hurt by it and he didn't realize Diddy was capable of that type of behavior. He didn't want to share details of the brotherhood moment they had, but he said it was real emotional. Stevie J full of shit. Let me tell you something. I ain't never heard of Stevie J knocking nobody upside the head. I ain't never heard of Stevie J knocking nobody head between a washer and a dryer. We know Stevie J is a womanizer. We know that he treats women like shit. We've seen it with our own eyes. I'm not buying anything Stevie J has to say about Puff Daddy. Um, they all know. They've all been involved in the mess to some degree. I believe Stevie J was probably involved a little bit more than others. Him and his beefcake. Anyways, it is what it is. Stevie J, I'm sure you probably girl, God wouldn't put it. I wouldn't put it past that Stevie J had received a couple of dollars from Puff Daddy too, just to hold him over. I'll come at him to protect you, brother. I just need, I just need to hold something. All right, y'all. I'm about to go get me something to eat, and I will be back later so we can continue. I want to talk about Kenya Moore because the final, I didn't know when I did the live with Kenya Moore about Kenya Moore the other day, I hadn't seen the whole interview hadn't been released, and so I could only go by with the information I had. But now the entire interview was out, and so I want to talk about the things that I did not speak about in the Kenya Moore live. All right, Kenya Moore haircut. All right, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.